I've always been skeptical of stories, urban legends, campfire tales, anything that begins with, "I swear this really happened." That is, until I met the black-eyed children. It started with a knock. 3 sharp taps on the old oak door of the cabin I'd rented in Birch Hollow. I'd chosen the place because it was isolated. No neighbors for miles, just towering trees and the occasional call of owls. A perfect retreat from the noise and clutter of the city. The knock came again. It was nearly midnight and I hadn't seen a single soul since arriving that morning. No one should have been out here. I ignored it. But then, a voice. Thin. Delicate. "Can you help us?" I froze. Something about the tone. It didn't sound frightened. It didn't even sound like a question. It sounded like a command buried in velvet. I peered through the peephole, heart slamming against my ribs. 2 children stood on the porch. A boy and a girl, maybe 8 or 9. Dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Navy coats buttoned to the neck, hair neatly parted. The girl's head tilted slightly, like she was listening for something behind the door. The boy just stood still, like he was carved from wax. Their skin was pale, too pale, sickly, almost blue under the moonlight. And then I saw their eyes, or rather, the absence of them. Solid black, no iris, no whites, just pools of darkness. "We're cold," the boy said. "Please let us in." I stumbled back so fast I knocked over the lamp. Glass shattered, and I didn't even flinch. I didn't answer. I didn't move. I just crouched behind the couch, heart in my throat. The knock came again. Slower this time. Deliberate. And again, the voice. "We can't come in unless you invite us." That phrase. It clawed at something primal in me. It didn't sound human. I stayed there until dawn. When light finally seeped through the trees, I crept to the door. They were gone. Not a footprint in the frost-covered steps, but something else was left behind. A note, folded neatly, resting on the porch. "Tonight, we'll be back. Please let us in. We're hungry." I drove into town as fast as the winding roads allowed. I needed answers. But when I asked the old man who ran the only gas station about black-eyed children, he went rigid, pale as bone. "You saw them?" he whispered, voice cracking. "They don't show themselves unless they want you." I told him what happened. He didn't ask for details, just handed me a worn crucifix from behind the counter and said, "Don't go back. Don't ever go back." I didn't listen. I wish I had. That night, I armed myself with every superstition I could find. Salt lines at the windows, a Bible at the door, candles burning in every room. I didn't sleep. I just waited. At 12:03 a.m., the temperature dropped. Every candle flame snapped horizontal, like wind had rushed through the cabin, but the windows were sealed. Then, the knock. 3 times. Louder. Angrier. "Please," the girl's voice. Closer now, almost, inside my head. "Let us in. We won't ask again." I stayed silent. Then the windows went black. Not dark. Black. As if something was outside, coating the glass. I heard movement in the walls, scratching, whispering. My name. My name. We're already inside. I turned, and the girl was standing in the hallway. No knock, no opening door. She was just there, smiling with those void-like eyes. She raised her hand. Not in greeting, more like pointing. Behind me, the boy had entered from the opposite door. His mouth hung open slightly, as if learning how to smile. I don't remember screaming. I don't remember running. All I remember is waking up in the woods, hours later, barefoot and bloodied. The cabin was gone, not burned, not destroyed. Gone, like it had never been there. That was 2 years ago. Since then, they've followed me. City to city, apartment to apartment. Every place I go, they find me. Every night I hear the knock. And every night, I know if I ever open that door, even once, it'll be the last thing I ever do. I tried to warn others. Online forums, podcasts. No one believes me. Some laugh. But a few message me back, saying they've seen the children too, saying they know the knock. And now, One of them has gone missing. I thought I was safe in the city. Noise, crowds, light. They can't stand those things, right? Wrong. They're adapting. 3 weeks ago, I moved into a 5th-floor apartment. Gated building, security cameras, steel doors. No children allowed past 9 p.m. The knock came at 3:07 a.m. Not at the door, at the window. 5th floor. I didn't look. I couldn't. But I felt them. Like static crawling over my skin. Like something inside me whispering, "Just look. Just say yes." The knock stopped after 7 minutes. I know because I stared at the clock the whole time, not blinking, not breathing. The next morning, the hallway outside smelled like rotting leaves, not decay. Fall leaves, damp and moldy, the kind that coat forest floors, the kind you'd find in Birch Hollow. I didn't report it. What could I say? There are children with voids for eyes climbing buildings and knocking on my windows? No one would believe me, but someone did. A week later, a package showed up at my door. No return address, no delivery confirmation. Inside, a cassette recorder, a single tape, a note. "Listen in total darkness, don't stop it." The tape started with static, then a voice, female, shaky. "My name is Anna Cordell. I saw them when I was 9. They never stopped following me. They don't age, they don't sleep, and now they're changing." She took a breath, like she was about to cry. Then she whispered, "They learned my voice. They used it to speak to my mother. That's how they got in. That's how she died." A pause. "They don't knock forever. If you ignore them long enough, they come anyway. You have 3 warnings. The knock, the whisper, the reflection." Reflection? I rewound the tape, listened again, and then something else. In the last 10 seconds of the recording, a child's voice overlapped hers, barely audible, chilling. "We like your face. We'll wear it next." I threw the recorder across the room. That night, my bathroom mirror fogged up from the inside. No heat, no water running, just fog. One word appeared, traced by an unseen hand. "Ready?" I broke the mirror. Didn't matter. The next night, every screen in my apartment turned on at once. TV, phone, laptop, all showing one thing: the hallway camera feed. They were standing outside my door. The boy, still motionless. The girl, now taller. Her limbs, longer, unnatural. Her smile wider. Her teeth, different, carnivorous. The camera glitched. And then the girl looked up, at the lens. No one ever looks at the lens. I ran. Didn't pack. Didn't think. I left that night and drove west until I reached Montana, middle of nowhere. Rented a trailer from an old woman named Deborah who didn't ask questions. "You here to disappear?" she asked. Something like that. She handed me a shotgun. "They came for my grandson once. He let them in. I sleep with this now." I laughed nervously. She didn't. Last night, I made the mistake of calling my sister. Told her everything. She didn't hang up. She just said, "They're here." Then silence. Not the phone cutting out, just nothing. Like she'd vanished mid-sentence. I drove 8 hours straight to her place. Found her phone on the floor, TV on, static, bathroom mirror shattered from the inside, and on the wall, drawn in black crayon, "You told. Now we're inside you too." I haven't slept in days. I see them everywhere. Reflections, crowds, corners of my eyes. They don't even knock anymore. They're in me, whispering when I try to pray, standing over me when I blink too long. I think they're trying to wear my skin, and worst of all, I'm starting to want to let them, because when they speak now, they sound like my mother, and my mother's been dead for 15 years. I'm writing this from a motel bathroom. Lights flicker every few seconds. My reflection is delayed by half a breath, and I'm not sure it's mine anymore. They're inside me. I feel them behind my thoughts. Like hands on a steering wheel I no longer fully control. But I still have one sliver of will left. So I'll tell you how it ends, and what's coming. Because it's not just my story anymore. I went back to Birch Hollow. I had to. The old cabin was gone, but I knew they'd be waiting there. Like a trap that resets itself. Like a virus needing a host to infect. I brought salt, silver, crucifixes, recordings of holy chants, and a bottle of gasoline. None of it mattered. They were already waiting in the clearing. 20 of them, children of all ages dressed in clothes from every decade, all with void black eyes, all smiling. One stepped forward. It wasn't the boy, it wasn't the girl, it was me. A perfect copy. Black-eyed, smiling wider than a face should stretch. It spoke in my voice. You brought yourself to us. We knew you would. You always do. Then the others chanted. He opened the door. He opened the door. He opened the door. I tried to run. I couldn't. The ground grabbed me. Roots coiled around my legs like serpents. The trees bent toward me, branches clawing at my arms. They don't live in our world. Not really. They wear it. Like skin. Then they told me the truth. They're not ghosts. Not demons. Not aliens. They are invitations, that's all. They knock. They ask. And if you say yes, even once, they enter. And once they do, they don't stop at one person. They multiply. Through mirrors, through whispers, through screens. Every time someone hears about them, they spread. They're not hunting me anymore. I was just the first door. Now, they're knocking on everyone's. I broke free. Don't ask how. I think they let me go, because now I carry them. A piece of them. They made sure of it. I don't cast a shadow anymore. I avoid mirrors. Sometimes when I cough, it's not my voice that comes out. And I can feel it happening. To others. Because the knock came from me. Then it came from my sister. And now, it's coming for you. If you've read this far, they know you. You've heard the voice. You've imagined the knock. And that's all they need. You've invited the thought. Next comes the whisper. Then the reflection. Then the knock. And after that, you won't be you anymore.